Ernest Miller Hemingway was born on July 21, 1899, in Oak Park, Illinois, a suburb of Chicago. He was the second of 6 children in a well-educated, middle-class family. His father, Clarence Edmonds Hemingway, was a physician, and his mother, Grace Hall Hemingway, was a musician and voice teacher. From a young age, Hemingway was encouraged to appreciate nature and sports, which greatly influenced his later works. Early life and education. Hemingway's childhood was filled with outdoor activities like hunting, fishing, and camping, often under the guidance of his father. These early experiences in nature provided a deep reservoir of inspiration for his future writing. He attended Oak Park and River Forest High School, where he excelled in English and journalism, serving as the editor of the school newspaper and yearbook. Rather than attending college, Hemingway pursued a career in journalism immediately after high school. In 1917, at the age of 18, he began working as a reporter for the Kansas City Star. This experience taught him the concise, direct writing style he became famous for later on. The Star's style guide emphasized short sentences, vigorous English, and active verbs, all traits that would define Hemingway's literary voice. World War I and its impact. In 1918, Hemingway volunteered to serve in World War I as an ambulance driver for the Red Cross in Italy. While driving supplies to the front, he was seriously wounded by mortar fire. During his recovery, he fell in love with a nurse named Agnes von Kurowski, a relationship that ended painfully but left a lasting impact on his life and work. His war experiences would form the basis for his debut novel, The Sun Also Rises, and several other works. The Lost Generation and Paris. After the war, Hemingway returned to the United States briefly before moving to Paris in the early 1920s. Paris was a vibrant center for artists and writers, often referred to as the hub for the Lost Generation, a term popularized by Hemingway's friend Gertrude Stein to describe the disillusioned post-war generation. In Paris, Hemingway befriended notable literary figures such as F. Scott Fitzgerald, Ezra Pound, and James Joyce. Hemingway worked as a foreign correspondent for Toronto Star and immersed himself in the city's cultural life. His writing style matured here, heavily influenced by the modernist movement but characterized by his own distinctive sparse prose. His first major work, The Sun Also Rises, 1926, portrayed the aimlessness and disillusionment of expatriates after World War I. The novel was praised for its realistic dialogue and vivid depictions of European life, establishing Hemingway as a rising literary star. Career and major works. Throughout the 1920s and 1930s, Hemingway continued to write novels, short stories, and non-fiction. His novella A Farewell to Arms, 1929, based on his war experiences, was a critical and commercial success. It explored themes of love, loss, and the futility of war with a poignant realism that resonated widely. In 1937, Hemingway covered the Spanish Civil War as a journalist, an experience that inspired his novel For Whom the Bell Tolls, 1940. This book examined the complex nature of war, politics, and personal sacrifice through the story of an American fighting alongside Republican guerrillas. It was another major success, further cementing Hemingway's reputation as a powerful storyteller. Hemingway's prose was known for its economy and understatement, a style often called the iceberg theory or the theory of omission. He believed that the deeper meaning of a story should be implied rather than explicitly stated, allowing readers to infer emotions and themes beneath the surface narrative. Personal life and adventures. Hemingway's life mirrored the adventurous spirit of his fiction. He was an avid outdoorsman, passionate about big game hunting, fishing, bullfighting, and boxing. He spent much time in places like Key West, Florida, and later Cuba, where he wrote many of his most famous works. Hemingway was married 4 times, often amid turbulent and dramatic circumstances. His first wife was Hadley Richardson, whom he married in 1921. Their marriage, though initially happy, was strained by Hemingway's infidelities and the pressures of his career. He went on to marry Pauline Pfeiffer, Martha Gellhorn, and Mary Welsh, each relationship influencing his life and work differently. Despite his public persona as a robust outdoorsman, Hemingway struggled with deep personal demons. He battled depression, alcoholism, and the psychological scars of his war experiences. His health declined in later years, worsened by several serious injuries and 2 plane crashes in Africa in the 1950s. Later years and Nobel Prize. In the 1950s, Hemingway continued writing, producing The Old Man and the Sea, 1952, which revitalized his career. The novella tells the story of an old Cuban fisherman's epic struggle to catch a giant marlin. It was acclaimed for its simplicity and profound symbolism and earned Hemingway the Pulitzer Prize in 1953. In 1954, Hemingway was awarded the Nobel Prize in Literature, recognized for his mastery of the art of narrative, most notably in The Old Man and the Sea, and for the influence he had exerted on contemporary style. Despite this prestigious recognition, Hemingway's mental health deteriorated in the following years. Tragic end and legacy. On July 2, 1961, Ernest Hemingway died by suicide at his home in Ketchum, Idaho. His death shocked the literary world, but it also cast light on the struggles he faced with depression and illness. Hemingway's legacy remains immense. He is considered one of the greatest American writers of the 20th century, shaping modern prose with his clear, direct style and themes of courage, loss, and the search for meaning. His works continue to be widely read and studied, and his life story remains a powerful example of a man who lived intensely and wrote passionately about the human condition. Influence on literature and culture. Ernest Hemingway's influence extends beyond literature into popular culture. His archetype of the stoic, masculine hero has permeated various media, and his writing style is often emulated by writers worldwide. Hemingway's approach to storytelling, with its brevity and emphasis on subtext, revolutionized narrative fiction and journalism alike. His personal legend marked by war, travel, adventure, and tragedy has fascinated biographers, filmmakers, and readers for decades. His works have been adapted into numerous films and continue to inspire new generations.